So
Yeah.
I have the stage. You can select it if you want. I have it set to random. That's my random
Oh, you
default
have
stage list.
random set? Okay.
Yeah, random is set, so it
Oh,
should be good.
I'll go to random.
But yeah, I kept it on just in case you wanted to do any specific stages or anything like that. So
I don't think there's anything I
how
can
long
do.
have you been playing Wolf?
Pretty much since the patch.
Okay.
I played him a little bit before then, but not like seriously.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I play him in tournament.
Gotcha. Is it primarily him?
Uh, I'd say like in the later parts of bracket, it's mostly him.
Okay. Do you feel like there's any specific thing that you might be struggling with him, or are you kind of just like looking to make yourself just better overall with one as a player?
Better.
But...
It's mostly just player habits.
Gotcha.
But I would like to get better at shine combos.
Oh yeah. Those are something that you're probably going to have to like lab out a lot of the finer details on how to really get them. But no, I'll definitely do what I can to help point out any glaring flaws. Okay. Definitely seems pretty strong so far, to be honest. Like you're pretty, I don't want to say aggro, but you kind of like are doing a decent job at like using his hitboxes and his safeness to get it in try and pressure.
All right. Double purple. I'm scared. Nice. I should stop recovering.
Yeah, it's important to mix up the recoveries as Wolf, just since it can be kind of predictable.
Yeah. That's probably his biggest
flaw.
Weakness.
Olimar especially can kind of exploit it pretty well as long as he's like on point with his stuff like down tilt.
Well, yeah, because he has like hitboxes. How big is the down tilt hitbox? I don't actually.
I don't believe there's been any visualizers shown for it in Ultimate, for like Olimar yet, but it pokes onto the ledge a decent amount. It's probably outside of like down air your best bet for hitting a lot of things, because it seems to be more consistent than down smash.
Yeah.
Down smash can definitely do it with a yellow especially, but down tilt's nice and consistent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's consistent as something like that can be. Against Wolf, it's. I also need to get my ledge. My ledge trapping is also really bad.
Okay. Yeah. The nice thing about Wolf is like you can kind of just your tilts are really good, down tilt, forward tilt, and then down smash are all pretty good like ledge punish options, like when you're going to grab the ledge like two framing. But ledge trapping, yeah, it's a lot of like start, like use a tilt and then kind of, because they're not super committal, so use a tilt and then get out of there and then use your movement to bait it out. Or maybe do like a short hop aerial, like a short hop nair, for instance, to like bait out an option from them and then dodge it. So it's a lot of, from my experience seeing Wolves and like fighting them and things like that, it's a lot of like constant in and out movement and making sure you're like just kind of teetering on the edge of that safeness or whatever.
Yeah, but still remaining safe as possible.
Yeah, so it's like you're not, because you want to like
scaring them into
that's exactly what it is. You're kind of like going, oh, I'm right next to you right now, so you're gonna commit, but then I actually didn't like commit to anything because you can kind of get it out of there really quickly. And then when you're kind of at that longer mid range, you can incorporate things like lasers to help kind of annoy your opponent and catch them slipping.
Oh, my landings are also that's another thing I struggle with, just player-wise. That's with all characters.
Yeah, I remember that last time. That was definitely something that you were still working on, and it's gonna be a little bit tough. I mean, Wolf, with all spacies, kind of do struggle with that landing. So sometimes it's kind of just, mixing up your air dodge timing, retreating to ledge with your high like movement speed, like airspeed, or just mixing up like sometimes you'll fall with nair, sometimes things like that. But it really is just, you're going to have to accept that if you play this character, you're going to get caught in the air a lot and take a lot of damage.
Yeah, of course. I might play Olimar again, depends on whether or not
the shield gets fixed.
The shield gets fixed.
Yeah. I don't blame you on that.
Yeah.
They probably will fix it. It's just a matter of when. I would
Yeah.
assume when Hero comes out for the DLC, but Nintendo
Really sucks that there hasn't been this like minor bug fixing patch
I
like
agree.
in between the major.
You would think that it would be pressing enough,
Yeah,
but I guess not.
Yeah, that Olimar's he basically has melee Game and Watch shield. And the worst thing is people like defending it.
Right?
Because
I've heard
he's
some
too good.
pretty wild like things about it. There's so many problems with him. Like I've made plenty of videos and tweets kind of detailing all the different problems with him, and I hope they fix them. But we'll just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, you
Yeah,
can definitely
hopefully.
still do it with him. Just a lot of work. Like he still has one of
Yeah.
the best advantage states I think in the game. The way he combos and
Yeah,
gets so much damage off it.
Yeah. His neutral's also
Yes. it
not
is.
as good anymore, but
Yeah.
it's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's not the super safe
It's not what it was. It's not what it was.
pressure, but he can still do it.
His neutral's still certainly well above average. Is that true?
In that instance, I believe it was. The thing about Olimar's Nair is that, like, depending on how you land it in so many different ways, it can affect what your follow-ups and combos are. And it also varies a lot on the character. You know, someone like Mario or Luigi who have that frame 3 Nair, that really good combo break option, are going to have a much easier time getting out of it.
Yeah.
Things like that. But like a fast faller who's a bit more combo heavy like Wolf, he's probably going to
Yeah.
be much easier to hit with it.
Yeah, okay.
I am noticing that I feel like you're going for F tilt a bit much. Like it's kind of like I do something and then I F tilt, or it's kind of like my get off of me option. And I think incorporating maybe more grabs if you notice some shielding could help.
Yeah, okay.
And just maybe even doing like retreating aerials, or just not always going for that same option, I guess, right? Like you've got a couple other things at your disposal, and just mixing it up is going to do you a lot more favors. But grabs, especially if you notice
Yeah.
I'm shielding a lot, because you can get pretty good disadvantage off that.
Yeah, alright.
Like right there, you went for the forward tilt, and then I kind of just drifted back, and I was able to catch you
Yeah.
because I saw you were going to do it.
Oh. Oh yeah, I guess it
Yeah.
was yellow.
Yellow down smash eats that move up.
Doesn't work as well on up B, I assume?
No, because the way up B works, the way its hitbox is, it's a lot harder. But you can still, I can still 2-frame with it. It's just a little bit less consistent. Yeah, down tilt's usually the go-to for up B, due to it always, like, it'll never clank or anything like that, and I can pop you up and then get a punish.
Yeah, Shine confirms definitely are things I need to lab.
Yeah, it's nice because it has the invincibility on it as well. So I think that'll probably, you could also use it kind of like a get off me option, as opposed to stuff. And then once you get the confirms down, you're gonna start, you know, being like, all right, I use Shine as a get off me option, and then I start a quick combo off it or something like that. I feel like I've also seen some Wolves land with it. It's probably like a mix-up option you can do if they're right on top of you. I definitely wouldn't encourage you to just be using Shine when you're in the air all the time, but it's something I've seen. Just getting creative, I guess, with your moves like that, because when you have a move that does give invincibility, like that move, it's just like it can be used as that really out of the blue like mix-up, similar to how villagers will use like their pocket for that like 1 frame of invincibility or whatever it is on it, and they'll sometimes just be able to pass through things.
I see. I air dodge there. That's another habit of mine. I air dodge like downwards or neutral out of.
Oh, out of combos and stuff.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like your neutral seems to be the best area. I feel like your Wolf is. Like, I think it doesn't feel like you get too many combos with Wolf.
Yeah, that's what I really need to.
Like, you know, going for like down throw combos and a down throw dash attack or up throw up air, things like that, or even just like the aerial strings. That, and then like you said, the disadvantage, kind of just making sure you're mixing up your landings. But that's something like when you have a player-specific habit like that that's very prevalent in your playstyle, you kind of have to double down on it and make sure you're trying harder than anything else to stop it. Be like, okay, if I'm always like, you know, air dodging.
Oh yeah.
If I'm always air dodging into the ground, then you're going to have to like really tell yourself, mentally make these notes, constantly call yourself out when you're doing it, either mentally or in person or whatever, in friendlies, and just like commit extra hard to fixing that habit, because that's something that you do, you know, like we all have our own player specific like habits about us, and sometimes it's really difficult to get them, but it's just, you're gonna have to deal with the fact that you want to do it all the time until you constantly have the awareness to stop doing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go!
So, do you like Battlefield as Wolf? Because I feel like this is a stage that could probably help you with your combos and kind of maintaining that advantage state with your ability to juggle.
Yeah, I do like it. Battlefield, probably my. I like Battlefield and Town and City. Those are probably my 2 favorite stages.
That was a good example of what I was talking about with the nair, where you kind of like bait it out, where you bait something out by just like throwing out an empty nair, even if it's not going to hit me per se, and then you catch me slipping.
Yeah.
There we go. That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. I get what you're saying.
Like right there, I called you.
You caught it.
Yeah, it was towards the end of the up B, because you were so far down that I was able to catch you as you were kind of just snapping to the ledge with no hitbox.
Yeah. Oh, I also need to mix up my get-up timings.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of when you play a character with a more, I guess, a less straightforward like disadvantage state, where you kind of gotta get a bit creative with someone like Wolf or Olimar, for instance, it really does come down to a lot of just like mixing up timings between like the few options you do have.
Whoops. Meant to blaster.
Like there, I feel like you could have maybe, I know it's a bit risky because the whistle, but just kind of like even feinting me out with like up airs and stuff when I'm falling, just so you're putting out some form of pressure. Because when you're just trying to catch my landing, it can work, but at the same time, it's not the best. Because if you're not threatening me, I could just maybe fall with my own aerial or something like that. Like Wolf has pretty generous hitbox sizes, and that's definitely something you want to try and exploit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me know, by the way, if you want me to play any other character other than Olimar, just because I know he's not always the most straightforward in how you have to fight him. And I can definitely try and go something a bit more standard.
Well, I mean, there are characters I need matchup experience against, of course.
What? I definitely am not going to lie to you and say I can play, like, every character, but I can try and give you some practice and some. But if it's, like, more abstract ones or, like, really weird top tiers, I probably couldn't give you valid stuff. I can give you advice on how to fight them and things like that, but I couldn't necessarily, like, play them, if that makes sense.
Oh, I struggle especially with Link, I think. I have a difficult time against Link.
Okay, yeah, I remember you linked me the set. I can try and play Link. I'm not the most fancy with them. I felt like when you were fighting the Link, or at least from the set that I watched, like I typed some stuff, but it was a lot of you would let yourself get caught by his sword a lot. You weren't respecting maybe his shield pressure. Keep in mind you were playing Snake at the time, so your shield pressure is going to be different than it would be with like with Wolf. But just kind of knowing, okay, I can hit Link's shield with this, you know, because he can't punish because his fastest option is that. Kind of respecting some of the space around him because his sword is so massive. You know, when you're above him, when you're below him, watching out for the up-downers, things like that. And then keeping in mind where like the bomb and boomerang comes back and all that.
Yeah. Whoops.
Gotta watch out on those forward tilts.
Yeah. Oh, caught my jump.
Oh, stop my momentum with a laser. Like, that was an instance where I doubt you thought it was going to hit you, but his sword has that so much range that it's able to just catch you a lot of the time when you don't expect it.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I wasn't expecting that
I-
to catch.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah, I think you might have extended your hitbox with your hurtbox with a move as well, which is something to keep in mind.
Well, I was F tilting.
Yeah, that's probably why. You use the invincibility to go through it instead of reflecting it.
Huh. I wasn't absolutely certain what happened, but I guess that would be it. Oh, you're.
Yeah, it was still invincible. So a couple things I noticed, like, you know, that was my very, you know, unpolished Link. Really respecting the range on his sword, because there was quite a few times where you got caught when you weren't expecting
Yeah.
it. Taking note of, like, Link might not have the best range data in terms of safeness, but that nair and that back air, they're very safe.
Yeah.
Not like young Link levels, I don't think, but they're, I mean, here, I'll actually just look it up for you. I'll give you a pretty solid answer on exactly how safe they are, because they're very good.
Yeah. I know they are, because often that's what I get caught by. I also get caught by spot dodge up B.
Okay, yeah. Well, the thing about spot dodging is, like, when you kind of got to get a beat on their spot dodge rhythm. Like, when you're coming up and hitting them, when are they going to be able to spot dodge and things like that? And then you delay your attack and then punish them as they're finishing their spot dodge. So that's like when you're attacking someone, kind of recognize where the openings in your pressure may be, or where they have a chance to spot dodge, and then slightly delay your attack, and then punish them for it. But yeah, his neutral air -2, -3 on shield, back air -3. They're both mad safe. Just kind of like when he hits you with them, just be ready to, if you're gonna do anything, roll out of there. Generally, right? Treat it almost like pre-patch Olimar up smash. It's like you knew it wasn't necessarily like you got another hit coming, but it was kind of the opponent picking like a shield grab, so you punish them. So you just don't let them get that free punish. Oh, alright. Wasn't expecting to get grabbed right there.
I wasn't expecting to grab you right there. Thought I whiffed it. Link grounded up, he catches me way more than it should.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the times it's because it has that range, not an accent, that you just don't expect. And that's something that you're gonna have to like really hammer into yourself, kind of like the air dodge habit, right? Where you air dodge down and like when you're in disadvantage. It's kind of like you gotta be like, okay, don't respect his range. Do you know how safe Wolf's moves are? Like, are you aware of like what you're doing and how safe it is and how fast they can act out of it, or is that something that you don't know too much about?
I haven't looked into the frame. I've looked into it, but I haven't memorized it.
Okay. I definitely think that's something that's probably going to give you a little bit more security. So when you're hitting Link's shield, you're going to know, okay, my Nair is safe in this instance. My back air is, maybe safe here or something, right? And it's not going to get you caught as much because you're going to know that he won't be able to punish certain things unless you're going for a right option. And after this game, I'll give you a good example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, I also need to work on parrying. I don't think my parrying's consistent enough, especially considering how mediocre Wolf out of shield options are.
Yeah. Parrying a lot of time...
They're frame 10. Fair and Nair out of shield are frame 10.
Yeah, it's the same as Olimar, because his fast is also frame 10 with Fair and Nair. And a lot of the times, parrying kind of comes down to... It's more reads, to be honest. Well, not reads, but you kind of have like an intuition, right? When someone's near you, it's like, they're going to hit me now. So then you kind of mentally prepare yourself for it. And when you do that, you're able to get a punish off it a lot of the time. But I'll explain that and then general shield stuff after this game.
Yeah. Oh, missed the deck.
So... I'm going to pull up Wolf's frame data real quick, and then we'll kind of give a rundown of, like, what are some things that he can be up being out of shield.
Yeah.
So, his up B is frame 7. Pulling up Wolf's frame data right now. And we'll use your aerials as an example. So, his up B is frame 7. So, this is the ultimateframedata.com. I know it doesn't account for things like short out multiplier, but this is on average what you're going to be doing. Your neutral air, -4, -5 on shield. Forward air, -6 on shield. Up air, -5 on shield. Down air and back air, -10 or worse. So that means when you're nairing his shield, when you're forward airing his shield, you're up airing his shield, you're kind of at an advantage in the sense that he doesn't have any move faster.
Yeah.
So, but you also don't have super quick options. It's not like you have like a frame 1 jab. You have a relatively slow frame 4 jab. So what that means is, if you know that he's going to be ready to maybe up you out of shield because they're kind of trigger happy, especially if it's a Link that maybe you fight in tournament a lot and you kind of you're more familiar with what he's doing, you're going to nair a shield and then you're going to shield on your own, or you're going to roll out of there. And then you're going to kind of see how he reacts to it, right? Be like, oh, he up B'd? Well, I shielded or I rolled out of there, so now I get a free punish.
Yeah.
So kind of the 3 big aerials that you'll be doing it with would be up air, nair, and forward air. Primarily nair and forward air, just because landing on up air on a shield's not really the most viable. But like when you're spacing with those forward airs coming in, you're going to be a lot safer. But the important thing to keep in mind is, if you're doing like a forward air when you're all the way at the top of somebody's shield, you have to wait all that time where you can fall, so that makes it less safe.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to be trying to space down closer to the ground or when you're retreating, but just incorporating things like hit and then shield. The joke about like Olimar's, for instance, was up smash spot dodge you know, forward smash or whatever because they try to shield grab. Well, it's not because I wasn't always spot dodging because I maybe thought you were gonna shield grab all the time. It was kind of like almost a insurance policy to go, if you attacked me, I'm ready to dodge.
Yeah.
But in Link's up B, in the case of that, I don't recommend spot dodging because that move is active so long that if you do spot dodge, it's going to come back and catch you. So that's why shielding or rolling away from him is probably going to be your best bet.
Yeah, alright.
But it's that same like logic. You know, you can always go and look up the startup of a move real quick and be like, okay, my Nair is -4 if I space the sweet spot and it's like really close to hitting the ground or whatever. So a lot of characters might not be able to punish that. So mixing that up. But parrying, that's different because it's like, because you have to drop shield to parry, that it kind of, you're making a hard read in the sense that you know they're going to be attacking right there. Because you're exposing yourself willingly, and if you mess it up, you get hit. And the way I approach parrying is, I know people have gone into training mode and they've kind of set up like maybe like 2 Falcos lasering at different times, or like a red or like a green shell kind of going back and forth on stage of the walls to help get the timing down. And you can do that if that's something you want. But the way I approach parrying is I kind of just try to actively do it more in game. And you're going to use a lot of the spacing relative to your opponent to get a good idea of when to parry. Like if I'm maybe, you know, like a forward tilt length away from Marth, right? Like I'm in range of the forward tilt. I am now, like, I'm thinking about their, kind of like that danger zone around them. If I'm, you know, two entire lengths away, like I'm halfway across Kalos against Marth, I have nothing to worry about, right? Shield's not even an option. But once I start moving closer, then I start going, okay, well now Marth has down tilt, forward tilt, jab, forward smash, forward air. You know, those are the more obvious things. So then you go, okay, well, how am I moving and what are their corresponding options? So you kind of are trying to understand what option they're going to want to pick based on how you're making them play the game or what their available options are. I know it sounds a bit abstract, so let me know if it's not the most clear cut and I'll try and explain it. But you kind of want to, like, you want to know what your opponent's going to do before they do it. And you're going to use things like stage control, percents, stock count, timer, like every little bit of information you can pull in the game to help educate your guests more. You're going to use things like previous experience, you know, knowing that maybe Marth players tend to forward air when they're right at that spacing because you fought other Marths, so you've seen other Marths, right? You're going to kind of all funnel it into this one, like, pile of knowledge that you can draw from and go, okay, it's likely that the Marth is going to down tilt here, or that the Link is going to, you know, neutral air right here. So then you can put your shield up, you can, like, tap your shield real quick and go for a parry. It's a lot of very dedicated awareness that you have to practice on your own.
Yeah.
And it is something that's going to be hard. I know a lot of players, even in my region, there's not, you know, we've been playing the game for 6 months or whatever it is now at this point, and a lot of players just outright don't, they just don't parry reliably or put thought into it at all. But it's something you have to actively do. It's not like Smash 4, for instance, where you could just like run, tap your shield, and if you missed it, all right, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's a dedicated thing that you have to work on. So just when you're fighting people, kind of pay attention to where they're at in relation to you and when you think they're going to attack. And then that's not only going to help you understand their options better, but also help you parry more. So it's just a very dedicated thing to practice. So when you're fighting me or anyone else in the future, really try and pay attention to when you think I'm going to attack and like try and anticipate it more.
Another thing I can't really do very well is attack canceling. How useful is that?
For Wolf, it might be useful. It's like, it's not something I've messed around with too much just because the more obvious uses of it aren't really apparent for Olimar. I don't know. I feel like Wolf already has pretty good airspeed, so you might not need it too much. But it could be something like, if you're really wondering about it, I would recommend maybe looking into some additional resources. I know the Wolf Discord's kind of like I don't know how good they are, but just kind of going into the mass Wolf player base if you can. And going, okay, how viable is this tactic? Because those are the people that are going to know more than anything, because the tech in general varies on character to character.
Yeah. And I mean, he's a super popular character, so I should be able to find
you can probably find some level of information about it. And if it, you know, if it's something that you want to do, that's fine. If it's something that might have some use, but it's not a huge tech to you, then I definitely wouldn't put too much worry about it on yourself.
Yeah. The other thing is that I personally prefer, I use Smash Stick.
Yeah, so as do I.
Well, yeah.
And yeah, you do have to use tilt stick, I believe, for it, or you're supposed
Yeah,
to.
I think you can use smash stick. It's just like less effective.
Yeah.
There's something with back air that you can't do.
Yeah,
I
and
don't know.
honestly, like, you might not even need to do it. For all you know, there could be top wolf players who don't attack cancel. It's like, it's not
Yeah,
a
I mean it's super important for
game-breaking
like
tech.
say, I don't know. I know for Rosalina and Luma it's super
I
important.
think Falcon does some stuff with it as well. It's definitely got characters that use it a bit more.
Yeah,
But for a character like Wolf who already has like really good speed and things like that, you might just not need it. But no, definitely worth looking into.
whoops, wrong smash deck. It's a down smash there. Yeah. The reason I continue using smash stick is because with K. Rool, who I still play a lot, it's important if I down tilt Barry. It's really important for me to be able to buffer an F smash
Oh
quickly.
yeah.
It's a lot easier to buffer, at least for me. It's a lot easier to buffer tilts than smashes
Okay.
out of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like I can buffer up tilt or F tilt out of say down throw.
Yeah.
That's a lot easier.
So, some things I'm noticing just the more we're playing the Link matchup. It definitely... I feel like you're kind of scared to attack me with, like, you're not really pressuring my shield too often. You're not too sure how to get in past the range. And that's kind of like you're going to want to incorporate a lot of the movement, even if it's kind of like a back and forth, to try and get me to commit first, especially if it's something to like a tilt or something like that.
Because those are your tilts are unsafe.
Yeah, they're not fast either a lot of the time, so you can kind of be like, oh, you whiffed? Alright, I'm going to get in now. And, maybe try and pester me with a laser more, because your laser's transcendent, so it's going to go through a lot of, it's going to go through a lot of my things.
You get in with like a short hop fair or something like that.
Yeah.
Along those lines. That was a bad punish from me.
That move is so big, it's crazy.
That caught me.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and obviously I stuck with smash stick while playing Olimar.
Yeah. Okay. Not too
that
familiar
what-
on what the ideal job block punish is, but what were you saying though?
I continue using smash stick because of Olimar as well.
Yeah, and it's definitely, in my opinion, the ideal thing for Olimar. I know there's some who use tilt stick, and you can. It's just for how often you're smashing, I think it's so much more handy. Because like
Your tilts, I mean, your tilts are fine, but they just have relatively little.
like outside of down tilt, you're not gonna be like
utility.
spamming one, so you can usually adjust your hand on the fly or something like that.
Yeah. That was almost nice.
I had to drift back because I didn't want to die. Oh, I messed it up. I waiting because I knew you were
I
gonna.
messed it up too.
I knew you were gonna go ahead and do something like that. And I was like, alright, I just gotta let him hit my shield, and then I'm gonna be able to take his stocks. It'll be all good.
Yeah.
Remember to keep in mind that Link's up tilt starts from behind him, so a lot of times he's gonna catch you if you're approaching like that.
Yeah, because it's gonna be much faster.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I'm nice.
No, that was nice. That was nice.
I really wanted to like drop the bomb and then knock you into a down air.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It just wasn't to be. It was not to be.
No, but that was definitely better overall though. So just making sure, you know, watch the up tilt usage. I know it's like kind of the fallback, kind of just do it, but it's a habit that you have to break. Just constantly letting yourself know when you're doing it. At least, like, if it works, obviously don't beat yourself up. But if you find yourself getting punished for it a lot, that's when you kind of go, all right, I gotta mix this up. And then if I'm gonna catch, if, you know, they're shielding on a lot, then you start going for the grabs. That was not what I wanted.
Nice parry.
So like right there, I knew you were gonna go for something. So I was just like, you know what? We're just gonna drop shield. It's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that worked. And that's why you stay on stage as Wolf.
Yep. I was gonna say I learned my lesson, but I probably haven't really.
It takes time. I'm a stubborn player too. But the biggest thing is just making sure you're identifying when you're making those like really bad calls and going, okay, now's not the time for me to be doing that anymore, you know? Or
yeah.
I'm gonna work on mixing it up. That's the biggest thing, because like we all make those mistakes.
I'm also, I mean, I got it there, but I'm also not super consistent with that.
The down smash? Yeah, it's kind of hard. I know sometimes it might be more important to space a little bit further away from the ledge so that you're catching them with the tip where the hitbox is probably larger.
Well, sometimes what I do is like, whoops, whoa.
I held down. That's why, because I wanted to try and catch you with it.
Okay, so what I often do is, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I down smash, let it go purposely too early. It often I find it baits them into choosing an option to try to punish the down smash, and then I catch them with a short hop nair or something. Like they try to get up attack or whatever to catch me after the down smash.
Gotcha. I think it's weird, like, because you definitely want to mix things up like that. Like the different timings and spacings. But I think for down smash, like, it's good to go for, but I feel like you might go for it a little bit too much. I know angle down F tilt's pretty good.
Yeah, it also 2 frames.
And it's pretty low committal. Down tilt I know can also do it as well.
Yeah. Down tilt also sends it a really nasty
Yeah,
angle.
it's that like Olimar down smash angle. Where they kind of just like get drugged. Oh, no. Oops.
We take those. I also don't know what my best stages are exactly. Like I know sort of along the lines.
It's definitely gonna change depending on the matchups, because like certain matchups you're just not gonna want to do certain things.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to lie to you and say I'm super qualified. Oop, not the accidental taunt. I don't want to lie to you and say I'm super qualified to be giving you the ideal Wolf stages.
Of course not, but like just based on like.
I personally try to avoid things like triplats. One, because Wolf tends to juggle pretty well, but also I feel like he can camp decently there because of his lasers with the platforms. I feel like Wolves tend to go to Callus as well.
Yeah.
Just kind of like looking at the opponent you're fighting and going, okay, how can I exploit their weakness? Oh, you know, maybe they have a bad disadvantage or something. All right, well, juggling them is now good. Things like that. Or maybe I need somewhere to run, or a little bit more room to like work with. Maybe something against like Snake, you might want somewhere bigger. I would definitely just like maybe check out some like top Wolf players and kind of go, okay, they're, you know, dodging. They're going to this stage against like Olimar, for instance, and kind of try and. It's weird to say use their Discord because I don't know how the Wolf Discord is, but just let yourself kind of look and talk to other Wolves. But make sure that like, you know, a lot of Olimars think Callus is a good stage for Olimar. I personally hate that stage as Olimar, you know? So if you're not comfortable with the stage, don't go there just because other people are telling you to. Make sure that you're
I
comfortable there.
personally feel really uncomfortable on both Kalos and Smashville. I do not like those stages.
And it's, I mean, you definitely still are gonna have to learn to fight on them because sometimes you're just gonna have to ban other stages.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, letting
I mean,
yourself
I guess
kind of,
Pokemon Trainer, I'll ban Lylat or whatever.
yeah.
Take me to Smashville. I mean, that's why I generally pick random
Yeah.
stage in friendlies because I need to practice.
No, that's a good strategy, and that's something I do as well. It's like generally I'm going, you know, random 90% of the time just because it's better for me, but it's also, you know, it gets less stale and all that. So I think looking at Wolf's strengths, what he can do, you know, if you're fighting a character that has a hard time approaching, maybe you go to a stage with a platform where you can make it even harder approach because you're using your lasers and things like that, and those platforms cover you. Maybe,
Yeah.
you know, if you're fighting a character who can't juggle or can't land very well, go somewhere with triplat so you can really get some good juggling. Maybe if you're fighting someone who you want to be able to take a stock early, go somewhere like Yoshi's Island Brawl or Yoshi's Story so you can take the stocks early with your down smashes, your forward smashes, back airs, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. The other matchup I struggle with is Bowser. I mean, Link and Bowser are basically just the characters of my bracket demons, so I
Yeah.
need to work them out before.
Bowser's a weird character. He's a heavy, but he doesn't act like a heavy in a lot of ways. Because like his out of shield game is amazing.
Yeah, because like you got the uppy, Psy B, which just kind of kills you.
Yep.
I mean, it's not quite as fast as uppy, but then it also kills at 90. So
Yeah.
Plats.
So with the way I approach Bowser is it's a lot of okay, I'm gonna treat him like you know, heavy. I'm gonna kind of like he might be good in some ways, but he still lacks super good approach options in a lot of ways. So I like that. You hit me with an air, then you shielded there. And that's kind of like what I was talking about, where like you're letting yourself kind of pressure properly, and you're not just kind of throwing out move after move and getting punished. But
Yeah.
Bowser, I usually camp him a lot because he doesn't have the best
That's
approach
what
options.
Often when I play against like a Bowser or another heavy, I go to like big stages, just use a lot of blaster.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just like it's a little hard to distinguish when you got to kind of crank it up and be like, all right, I'm on top of you now. Let me get my big combos, and then kind of out frame data them up close. Because while like Bowser has good out of shield options with like a frame 6 up B, his actual frame data is not that good. It's kind of more in line with being a heavy.
Yeah.
And you can kind of exploit that when you're up close. When you've got him in the air, when you've got him not shielding when you're touching him or something like that, you can be like, okay, now I can hit you here, and you're not going to be able to do too much about that. So just take it slow, kind of understand the character's options too. Be like, you know, I know not to shield in this instance because I'm going to get command grabbed or shield broke. You know, rely maybe more on movement than shields.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Yep. Ah, that was stupid of me. That caught me all.
Yeah, it reaches so big.
I'd like to see if they have hitbox visualization of that. Actually, I should.
They
Ask them to-
might. I know people are doing characters slowly. I just know when, like, you asked about Olimar earlier, like, he's such a weird character that most people don't. I kind of ran up and charged it.
All right, I can't argue with results. It worked.
Well, what I wanted to do there is I wanted to run up, and I was like, okay, this is how this is going to happen. It's unlikely he's going to swing when he sees me run up. He's either going to shield or he's going to do something else. And I was like, all right, I'm going to run up
Well,
on
yeah,
the charge.
because I'm afraid of
Yeah.
your disjoints.
So I'm like, all right, I can potentially break his shield because it was low, and I used the charge. I was charging the AB, so I did good shield damage. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna charge it, and I don't know when you're going to let go of shield or pick an option, but I want to wait kind of like a predetermined amount of time where I'm like, all right, I've waited maybe a second or half a second, and now I feel comfortable letting it go because I think you'll drop shield or do something and get hit. And that's kind of what happened there. It was like run up, charge, and I was like, okay, this should cover most everything now because he hasn't dropped shield and hit me yet, and now since I'm doing it, it's probably either going to break a shield or I think he's going to, you know, pick an option
shit.
now, and then I'm going to punish him for it.
Yeah. If you could play Bowser like after this match, that'd be
I
appreciated.
can,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I can try. I can try. I can't promise it'll be as good as my Link, but I can definitely do my best for you.
Bowser's fun. I enjoy playing Bowser just occasionally for fun.
To me, he's one of the heavies I play the least. I really like Incineroar, Ganon. K. Rool's pretty fun. DK is kind of warming up to me.
I really like DK. I like Ganon. Ganon and K. Rool. Ganon, Bowser, and K. Rool are probably my favorites.
I would not
I mean,
drift him in that time.
Yeah. I mean, obviously K. Rool's my favorite.
Yeah.
So I saw recently that if you said that if Olimar's shield wasn't fixed next patch, you'd probably drop him.
Yeah, I'm in a weird spot because like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I love the character, but it's kind of at the point where I'm tired of losing because of like
Because of
bullshit.
the shield? Yeah.
Like I was fighting, you know, I lost to Spargo at CEO. Like it obviously could have gone
Yeah, I
either
saw
way.
that. I saw that set up.
But like, you know, I got screwed over so many times that it kind
could
of.
have gone either way, but like
I was very much planning around my
Losing-
thing working.
losing like to a stock, losing a game like that, a stock.
When I, you know, was planning around, you know, doing something else, and there was other instances in that set too. It wasn't even like that one back air, for instance. And it was just kind of like, well, why do I want to keep doing this? You know, it's.
Yeah. That makes sense. I am surprised I didn't spike you with that.
Yeah.
Who are you thinking of picking up instead?
I don't
think it out?
don't even have someone. It's like I would maybe Hero if I do, but at the same time, like there's not a current character that I would want to compete with, so I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah.
Like it kind of just turned me off from playing the game entirely. Not only because like I couldn't play the character I want, but also because to me it speaks volumes about the developers and how they're kind of treating the game, where it's not a priority to fix something that they went and broke.
Yeah.
So it definitely turns me off. So I don't know what I'm doing, but the frustration is the biggest thing for me right now. It's kind of gotten to a point where I'm just like, I don't.
Yeah, I can understand it. Like being janked out at a major tournament like that is probably not fun. I mean, I've certainly been janked at locals and stuff, but
It's just because like
certainly be disheartening.
you
to
can't.
be-
You never know it's coming. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because you're playing around, you're doing your job, you're in a heated battle, and everything looks fine, and then all of a sudden it just doesn't work, and then you're like, well, what was I supposed to do there? I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
And it very much like at that tournament when I lost him, it kind of just like ruined the entire mentality I had going and demoralized me.
Yeah. Because well, I mean, you can't control
Yeah.
that as well.
All right, I'll do what I can with Bowser. Oops. I'm gonna have to be a little careful about that so I don't jump out of shield. Alright, bear with my Bowser as I warm it
You'll
up.
figure it out. So, like, I feel like whenever I play against Bowser, I sort of either respect his moves too little or too much.
Yeah, and that's kind of the super heavy effect I'm sure you've gotten that playing K. Rool to some degree. Where it's
Well,
like
yeah.
people are just scared of you, and it's something that you gotta kind of take what
Either
you
that or
learn.
People are like, oh man, he's a bottom 10 character.
Yeah.
He can't do anything about these combos. And you just run in and try to dash grab, and I down smash and kill you at 60. It's like, yeah, K. Rool is bad, but he still has things. He still
Yeah.
has tools.
Well, the way you want to look at this is like, he's a super heavy and he hits hard and he does all this, but at the same time, like you also know what is safe and what isn't from him generally, and that's what you need to exploit. You need to be like, okay, he caught me and like he down flipped my shield. Well, now I know what I can do. You can't let that like you almost have to not be in the dark on how he's doing things.
Ah.
So you got to kind of take the time to really go, okay, this is the extent of what his character can do in most scenarios. So then you're never left in the dark, because that fear comes from you not knowing what's going to happen or being scared of dying. But if you know that he, oh wow, I thought that was going to grab ledge. If you know he can't kill you in a certain instance, or he can't do anything that's really threatening, then it gets a lot easier to handle it. Like, that's how I approach Bowser. Like, I camp him, and I go, you can't do this. And sure, the fear kicks in sometimes when you're in a tense bracket match or something like that.
Yeah.
But generally, it's like, you kind of take it safe and kind of just exploit his weaknesses. Why did Bowser just slide, like, a mile with that pivot grab? What the hell?
I think I'm dead. Oh no, not quite. Such a good pivot grab.
It really is. Yeah, I feel like, you know, the big things you want to do against Bowser, try and, if you're going to camp him, you know, run away, do some lasers, that's fine. But also, you kind of got to use your speed, use your mobility to get in and be like, I hit you, combo. And then if you hit my shield with an air, you know, be ready to shield my incoming up B or things like that. Mix it up. Kind of keep me guessing. But you got to pressure me. You got to put me in that disadvantage. You can't play like a scary back and forth neutral. Like, as Olimar, you could because you like forward smash, side B, right? But with Wolf, you got to be ready to get in my face and kind of pressure me.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go!
Whoops. I respect it.
I was hoping it would come out faster.
Ah, I grabbed the wrong way.
Oh, he's slipping. Oh, I went a little too far in. Okay, okay.
Oh, while I'm talking to you, what's your opinion on K. Rool's tier? Like, how bad? He's certainly really bad, but how bad do you think he is? Because everybody seems to think he's bottom 5.
I don't know about bottom 5. I'd probably put like.
I personally don't agree.
I would put him, in my opinion, at best, like towards the bottom half of mid tier. But
Honestly,
he could
I think
also
he's
be
like-
low tier, in my opinion.
I think he's like bottom 10, maybe.
Yeah, he's definitely. I don't think he's bottom 5. I'd probably have to look at it,
I
but
don't
he's
think.
he's not like
Like-
utter trash.
Yeah, he's certainly bad, but he has tools. He's not like Piranha Plant bad.
Piranha Plant's weird because that character's like bad, and then all of a sudden, they're sometimes really good.
I mean, that character has like. It's new. I just feel like the aerials have so much landing lag, and they're all not.
Oh no,
none of them
Piranha
are very
Plant is
big.
most definitely carried by the fact that the character one has a pretty good recovery, assuming you don't two frame it because it has a big hitbox or hurtbox.
Yeah.
Its special
the top of
moves
the
because they're
head.
insane. Like that, the neutral beat, the Patui, is really good.
Really good.
And
Up smash is also. Oh, whoops. Up smash is also.
yeah, it's got intangibility on it too, so it's good kill power. But like, yeah, the aerials are pretty terrible. It doesn't really
Yeah.
approach it. Kind of sits back and throws a ton of buttons at you until you mess up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
K. Rool has Crown, which is, in my opinion, I would call Crown a top 10 projectile.
no, it's
Crown
yeah, no,
is
it's so good.
fantastic.
It's so good. The only downside to Crown, well, there's two in my opinion. It's got kind of meh startup, so you can punish that if you get in there. But also,
Yeah.
if I get Crown, terrible for you.
Yeah, it is.
But no, the
But,
the
like,
move itself,
Two,
so good.
If I'm smart about Crown usage, you're not gonna get it. Nobody's gonna get it.
Yeah.
I get it basically every time.
Yeah, and no, it's a crazy good because it just beats like every
It's
other
so good.
projectile.
It beats everything. Like, it's not transcendent like Wolf's laser. It just blocks things.
Yeah, it just you can't stop it.
Yeah. Honestly, I think if you just gave it a little less lag, would it be nice if it was like it had like Link Boomerang?
Oh, that'd be
confirms
crazy.
Like that?
That'd be
That'd be
crazy.
so good.
I'm scared to give a super heavy that type of tool.
I mean, but make his running speed better. Make his run speed better. Probably give his Nair like way less landing lag and a bigger auto cancel window.
I feel like you would have
Um,
to tone down the armor a little bit on that though.
Honestly, I would be in favor of K. Rool armor nerfs and then buffing general frame data. Like to make him less a sort of a noob stomper character,
Yeah.
right? Where you could just armor through the attacks of people who don't know how to play the game.
Yeah, I get what you're
Um,
saying.
Make it like, I don't know, 20% armor.
Yeah.
So you can like lands with Nair or something. Interrupt recoveries with Nair or whatever, but you can't like eat a smash attack.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. No, I definitely think it would be cool if they gave him a bit more versatility in how he could be played.
Yeah. I could see, you know, if you buff those 3 things, give him better crown frame data, so he can do like crown up air and stuff, returning crown up air, which he sort of can, it's just not as consistent.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
get this, that's like, he could be top 20, I'll say, if he gets those 3 buffs, because he has a good kit, but I just don't think it's
Super. It's too.
just like,
He lacks
it's
some
too-
very important tools.
yeah, and his out of shield options aren't good.
Yeah, they're not.
They're probably that like they're pretty bad. Out of shield Nair. Oh, reduce fair landing. Like fair is already really good. Fair is really good because it can combo. You can combo. You can do like crown 1, crown 2, fair for like 35 damage.
Oh wow.
Something like that. You can also do like crown 1, crown 2, cannonball, the quick play combo. Um.
Oh, that was nice.
I'm trying to work on those. I'm not quite as consistent as I'd like to be with them.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got that. Got that. Right.
No, you're definitely pressuring more as the wolf. You're kind of going, and keep in mind, this is probably going to be a lot harder against the more actual Bowser player, but you're kind of going like, yes, I have good frame data and movement, so I'm going to punish you.
Yeah.
That's sent you like nowhere. No, I got too greedy.
Damn it! I wanted it. Was that good? Like using the two blasters and then catching your jump?
Yeah, that's kind of what you want to do. Like, use the fact that you're a better character and you have better tools to make me play in a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah, I see all these community tier lists putting K. Rool at bottom 5. Honestly, it's just because he's underplayed. Like there are basically no K. Rools in big tournaments.
Super heavies also tend to get really down underrated.
Yeah, because you know in the past they've been bad. Most of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
like,
DK
Smash 4, DK, and Bowser were mid tier, mid to high.
DK and Bowser are carried by the fact that they have one Smash 4 legacy behind them, so people naturally think they're good. But also, like, I think DK is really good.
They're certainly pretty good, but like
well, not yeah. I guess
DK isn't even.
I say really good in terms of a
DK
super heavy.
Yeah, DK isn't even as close to as good as Bowser though. Bowser's really good.
Got ya. Oh no, what?
Almost. It's like the sour spot, the shockwave.
I don't think so.
That was nice.
Definitely a lot
mean,
better. A lot better with how everything went. But I think that would probably wrap it up in terms
Alright,
of the
cool.
games. I'll try and like give you a recap. I think you were definitely doing better towards the end, mixing up like your options, kind of, you know, maybe hitting my shield with something and then going, all right, I'm gonna, you know,
Yeah.
shield after this. Or I'm gonna mix up my option instead of kind of being, I guess, being a bit more aware of my out of shield options or what I can do.
Okay.
You were smothering the Bowser pretty well because at the end of the day, you gotta treat these characters how they are, and you gotta expose their flaws. You know, like Bowser
Yeah.
struggles when he's camped and when he's getting
I think-
comboed.
I think I've been trying to camp Bowser a little too much.
Yeah, if you give him
Um,
too much respect, he's fast enough to get in.
Yeah, that's why. Because he could just I often find myself just him getting in on me, side being, forward air, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Then I have a tough time getting back to stage against fire. Or
Yeah,
Fair,
fire
whatever he
and
wants to
stuff
use.
can, because Wolf's so easy to
Yeah.
gimp that the littlest thing can mess you up.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think I've been playing a super campy defensive Wolf in the past, but I think playing more flexibly because I've been like, okay, so I start the match and I've got this game plan in my mind how I want the set to go. Okay, Bowser.
Yeah.
He's big. He's heavy. I'm gonna try to camp him. I'll use a lot of blaster. I'll go to a big stage, Town City, for example, and start camping. And then even if that doesn't work, my mindset is just to try it again, as opposed to try something else, like running in and smothering him with fair and nair or whatever.
Yeah. I think. How do I put it? You're handling it like you're aware that you're kind of maybe not necessarily handling it the best, and you're making the adjustments, which is good. And you might still struggle in the matchup until you get much more comfortable at it. And it's super heavy. Like if you're fighting a character that hits hard, it's always gonna be stressful, right? Like even in
Yeah,
Smash
yeah.
4 or whatever, there was never a time where fighting a Ganondorf wasn't stressful.
Yeah, I've never really had too much of a problem with Ganon because one of my practice partners a good Ganon.
Yeah.
So I play a lot with him, but like
It's the
if I didn't have him, then yeah, I would panic versus Ganon because he's scary.
yeah, it's
Like, just that sword that can just hit you.
yeah, it's the notion that you can just lose at any moment, and that's something that you're going to have to wrestle with. But it's kind of like fighting that overwhelming fear factor and kind of looking at them from a
Yeah.
more objective standpoint, going, "You can't do this. You can't do this.
I mean,
I can. I'll
Smash
exploit you."
4 Smash 4 Ganon was much scarier just because losing to Smash 4 Ganon was really embarrassing. But
Yeah, plus he had that up smash that had no lag. He had
Oh, yeah, that up
side
smash was
B,
so good.
side B suicide kills. It was crazy.
like,
But-
I mean, he was hot garbage, but you still have to respect him.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And I think you were definitely picking up on it. Same thing with Link. Just watch out for the disjoints. Try and maybe incorporate your lasers to throw off his own groove.
Yeah.
You know, when you hit a shield, be ready to maybe hold shield on your own or get out of there. And then kind of just like pay attention to what he's doing, respect his disjoints. You're faster than him, so outside of things like Nair and Bear, you're not gonna have to worry
Yeah.
too much about the speed aspect of things.
Yeah.
You know, the pairing, a lot of it, a lot of the problems we touched down upon today were all kind of fundamentally rooted in you being more aware of things. Pairing, you be
Yeah,
more
I mean,
aware of when the opponent's attacking. You know, hitting their shield, you're
Something that
aware of
it
it.
was suggested to me, you know Pinnacle? The tournament, the one that Big D, the Ices
Yeah,
player, won.
Yeah.
I was there and I got advice that was, you know, if you're playing friendly, say in an arena without a voice call or whatever, just narrate everything.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong. I tell people to do that all the time. I've told them, like, when we're playing friendlies or you're playing friendlies or you're practicing,
Yeah,
and you
I
like
remember you mentioned something about that earlier.
yeah, and you get hit, like, let's say you've regular get up from the ledge 3 times, then you go stop
Yeah.
regular getting ups, you know, oh, I regular got up again,
Yeah.
and kind of
Yeah.
give yourself an audio cue, and then so you're having to vocally. You can do it mentally. You can do it out loud. Whatever helps you learn. Hell, you can even write it down after the game or something like that in like a journal. Just something to commit the memory.
Yeah, I think vocally, because what I've done is I've played like real life friendlies with other people.
Yeah.
Just narrating everything I'm doing.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Like, if I ever stop narrating because I'm concentrating, they'll tell me, "You stop narrating.
Yeah.
Keep talking."
Yeah. It's something that you're gonna want to do. Obviously, you don't want to form a dependency on it, so it's something that you'll need to streamline eventually
Yeah,
into
of
the more
course.
mental aspect of things. But yeah, just
Yeah.
letting yourself go. All right,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm doing this. Calling yourself out, holding yourself accountable. That's gonna be really good for learning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will send you the stuff on this,
All right, cool.
and all that, and I'll get it uploaded within a day or two.
Would you mind? There's one set I would like you to take a look at. It's a pretty recent set
Yeah,
against the same Link player.
that's fine. Are you playing Wolf?
I'm playing Wolf in
Okay.
that set. That's why I
Yeah,
wanted you to take a
shoot
look
me,
at it.
shoot me the video link, and I'll check it out when
Alright,
I get a
shoot the link.
chance, and then I
Okay,
can
cool.
see. There'll probably be a lot of the things we touched down upon today in that.
Yeah.
So it might be a little redundant, but yeah, just being able to identify, call out, just practice the awareness. Make sure you're always paying attention to what you're doing, what your opponent's doing, and
Yeah.
see how you can find out the information. But yeah, thank you for the lesson, man. I will get you all that stuff
All right, thanks.
soon enough, and have a good day.
Cool. Yeah, you too. Bye.